everyone, and welcome back to Tech Support Monday. Today we're expanding on last week's Tech Support Wednesday video by diving deeper into how to handle basic tech fixes at home, even if you don't think you're a tech person. And listen, I get it. Tech can be intimidating. All those settings, codes, and error messages can make it feel like you're going to break something if you touch the wrong button. But here's the truth. A lot of the stuff seems harder than it really is. Think of it like doing basic car maintenance or home maintenance. No one's asking you to build your own engine or rewire your whole house, but knowing how to change your windshield wipers or unclog the sink? That's just practical, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Being able to fix small tech issues yourself means fewer trips to the repair shop, less money spent, and more confidence when something goes wrong. And in today's economy, a little self-reliance goes a long way. So let's get into it. I'll walk you through things step by step with no jargon and no pressure. Alright, the golden rule of DIY tech repair is this. Before you do anything else, restart your device. It sounds almost too simple, but you'd be surprised at how often it works. Whether your phone is frozen, your laptop is crawling, or a smart plug won't connect, a restart can reset your system and clear out the digital junk that builds up over time. Now, there's a few types of restarts you should know about. 1. The soft reset. This is a normal restart. On your phone, that means holding down the power button and choosing restart or power off. On a computer, click the shutdown or restart on the start menu or Apple menu. This clears out your RAM, the computer's short-term memory, stops background apps, and often fixes slowdowns or glitches. 2. Forced restart. If your device is frozen and unresponsive, you may need to force it to restart. On most iPhones, quickly press the volume up, then volume down, then hold down the power button. On Android, hold power plus volume down for about 10 seconds. On laptops, hold down the power button until it shuts off, wait a few seconds, then turn it back on. There can be residual charge inside the motherboard that stops it from restarting completely. This won't delete anything, it just forces the system to reboot. It's like cutting the power and plugging it back in. 3. Factory reset. This is your last resort. It wipes out your device completely and resets to the state it was in when you first took it out of the box. It's useful if you've tried everything else and nothing works, or if you're selling or giving away your device. Yes, factory resets can be a hassle. You'll have to reinstall all your apps and log back into things, but sometimes it's absolutely worth it to clear out years of clutter and start fresh. Just make sure you back up anything important first: photos, contacts, documents, etc. If you're intimidated by the term factory reset, just think of it more like moving into a freshly cleaned house. A little work up front, but a clean slate once you're done. So remember, start simple, restart, don't panic. Sometimes the fix is easier than it seems. Let's talk about tools. You don't need a garage full of gear to do basic tech fixes. Just a small kit of essentials that can handle most minor problems. And the best part, you can find most of these online or at your local hardware or electronics store for under $30 total. Here's what I recommend to have on hand at home. A mini screwdriver set. This is a lifesaver, and look for one with a variety of small Phillips and flathead tips. Tech devices use tiny screws. Bonus points if the tips are magnetic so you don't lose tiny parts. A compressed air can, perfect for cleaning dust out of laptop vents and keyboards, thus can cause overheating or keys to stop working. And this is the easiest way to clear it out without opening everything up. Plastic pry tools. These are little tiny plastic wedges that help you open up the device without scratching or damaging it. Great for replacing batteries or opening up your phone apps if needed. A microfiber cloth for wiping down screens and surfaces without scratching them. Paper towel or t-shirts can leave lint or marks. An external USB drive or thumb drive. You always want to back up your data before attempting any repair, even if it seems like a small fix. You'll thank yourself later. A small flashlight or headlamp. It's amazing how hard it is to see inside a laptop vent or desktop port without a good light. Ziploc bags are tiny containers to hold screws while you work. Trust me, you do not want to lose those laptop screws in your carpet. I personally use a tiny bowl like this one that can easily hold a variety of screws. These simple tools can turn you from, I guess I can take it to a shop, into, hey, I got this. Let's move into laptops and some more of the most common hardware issues you can fix yourself. Let's start with battery problems. Is your laptop not holding a charge anymore, only lasting 20 minutes off the plug? That usually means the battery's worn out. Most laptop batteries wear down after a couple of years. It's normal. Here's how to check if it's replaceable. If your battery is removable, you can see a latch and release button. You can pop it out and replace it with a new one. My laptop works that way. If it's an internal, you'll usually have to remove the bottom panel with a screwdriver. This might sound scary, but with a simple guide or YouTube video specific to your model, it's very doable. Personally, I've replaced my battery on my own laptop before, and while I was in there, I actually upgraded the internal drive too. My laptop had an old HDD hard disk drive, which was really slow. Swapped out for a modern SSD solid state drive, and the difference was night and day. Boot times went from a couple minutes to seconds. Apps opened instantly, and it was like giving my laptop a brand new brain. If your laptop feels sluggish and you're using an older hard drive, this is one of the best upgrades you can make, and you can do it at home. Now let's talk keyboards, especially if you've got kids using Chromebooks or laptops at school. These things take a beating. Sticky or not working keys? First try turning off the laptop and cleaning around the keys with compressed air. If something has spilled on it, don't panic. Turn it off immediately, unplug it, then it dry upside down. You can remove individual keys with a plastic tool or your fingernail to clean underneath with a Q-tip or rubbing alcohol. If a key's completely dead, you can often replace just that one key, or even buy a cheap external keyboard as a workaround. Let's move on to one of the most used and most frustrating devices in your life, your phone. Even if you're not super tech savvy, there's a few common phone issues that you can absolutely fix yourself. Let's break it down. If apps keep crashing or your phone freezing, this happens all the time, especially with older devices. Try a soft reset. Just restart the phone. If a specific app is causing problems, go into your setting and clear the app's cache. This removes temporary files that might be causing a crash. If that doesn't work, try deleting and reinstalling the app. For iPhones, running a cache isn't direct, but reinstalling the app can usually do the trick. If your phone is randomly running slow but fine other times, this is usually caused by too much stuff running in the background or just not enough space on your phone. Some quick fixes are to close the apps you're not using, delete old photos, videos, apps you don't need, and restart the phone regularly. It gives a fresh start and clears memory. If your phone won't charge properly, don't immediately assume it's dead. First step is to try checking the charging cable and adapter and try a different one. If that doesn't help, take a flashlight and look directly inside the charging part. You'll often see lint or gunk in there, especially if you keep your phone in your pocket. Use a toothpick or soft brush to clean it out. You'd be surprised at how often this works. Now for cracked screens, we've all dropped our phones. If the screen is cracked but still usable, apply a screen protector right away to prevent it from getting worse. DIY screen replacement kits are available online, but only attempt those if you're feeling confident and have the right tools. Otherwise, a repair shop might be the safer option just for screen jobs. Remember, you can do a lot more work than you think, but it's totally okay to call for help for delicate repairs. Now let's talk about desktop computers. These are some of the easiest to fix physically. You just have to know what to check. Here are some of the most common issues I've seen and fixed with desktop setups. The computer won't turn on, but it's probably the scariest one that's also the easiest to fix 90% of the time. First, check the power cable. Make sure it's plugged into both the wall and the tower. Make sure the monitor is also plugged in and turned on. And here's a tip from personal experience. I once had a client whose desktop wouldn't power on at all. They thought it was totally dead. I checked everything, and all it took was flicking on a tiny power switch on the back of the power supply, right next to where the power cord plugs in. One flick, it came to life. Sometimes it really is that simple. If the fans are running loud and hot, that's usually a dust buildup. Use compressed air to clean out the fans and vents. You don't need to open up the whole case right away. Just blowing air through the vent openings can help. If you do open it, make sure the computer is unplugged and you touch metal to ground yourself before doing anything inside. If you're experiencing slowness or lag, that one's part hardware, part software. You can handle the basics. Try these. Delete all the files and move them to an external drive. And install programs you don't use. On Windows, run disk cleanup or defragment on your hard drive if you're not using an SSD. Make sure the computer isn't set to open 10 things at startup. Disable unneeded startup programs and Task Manager. Desktops may look intimidating because of all the wires and components, but in reality, they're like Legos. Everything fits into place, and most parts can be removed and replaced with just a screwdriver. Let's talk about smart home tech, things like smart bulbs, plugs, speakers, cameras, or thermostats. These can be super convenient, once they're set up. But getting them working the first time, that's where people get stuck. There are some simple tips to help you get it right the first time or fix it when it doesn't work. If you're having Wi-Fi connection problems, this is usually the number one issue with smart gear. Most smart devices only work with 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, not the faster 5 gigahertz. If your phone is on the wrong network during setup, the device won't connect. To fix that, log into your Wi-Fi router from your computer. Just open the browser and type your router's IP address. It's usually something like 192.168.0.1. You can often find it printed on a sticker on the back of the router. It'll ask you for your username and password, again, usually printed on the router if you haven't changed it. Now, don't panic if it looks overwhelming. There are a lot of settings in there, and most of them you don't need to touch, and most of them you really shouldn't. But one of the very helpful things you can change easily, your Wi-Fi password, your network name, and make sure your 2.4 gigahertz band is turned on if it's not showing up. If your smart devices keep failing to connect, try setting up a dedicated 2.4 gigahertz network just for smart devices. It's safer and more reliable. If your smart device won't show up in the app, double check your phone is connected to Wi-Fi, not cellular data. Restart your smart device by unplugging it or holding down a reset button, usually for 5 to 10 seconds to factory reset it, and then walk through the setup process again using the manufacturer's app. Some smart devices like plugs or lights even require Bluetooth to be on during setup, so check that too. There's some helpful tools you can use as well. A Wi-Fi analyzer app on your phone to check signal strength where your smart device is going. I've personally set up a device inside a garage that was too far away from my router, so it was having trouble connecting. And label your Wi-Fi network something clear and easy. No emojis or weird punctuations. Some devices don't like them and won't work with them. Now, let's be real. As much as I love teaching DIY tech fixes, there are times where it's best to step back and call in help. Here are a few signs that might be time to bring in a professional, or at least get a second opinion. A burning smell or visible damage. If your device is smoking, sparking, or smells like something is burning, stop immediately, unplug it, and don't try to fix it yourself. That's a safety hazard. Liquid damage. Spilled water on laptops or phone, turn it off right away, unplug it, and do not try to power it on. Let it dry upside down and contact a professional before attempting anything else. Powering it on too soon can cause permanent damage. Repeated power failures. If your laptop, desktop, or smart device turns off randomly or won't boot after you've tried everything, it might be a hardware issue that needs specialized tools or parts to fix, like a failing motherboard or power supply. And a power supply is not something you want to mess around with. My laptop has been super loud lately, and it's super hot even when I'm just using Chrome. What should I do? Great question, Amanda. That usually means your laptop is overheating, often due to dust buildup in the vents. You can use a can of compressed air to gently blow out the vents on the side or bottom of the laptop. Make sure the device is off and unplugged first. Also, try using it on a hard surface like a desk instead of your bed or couch, which blocks airflow. If it's still loud after cleaning, it might be time to check for background apps or even consider having a thermal paste replaced, which is best done by a pro. How can I tell if a hard drive is an SSD or HDD, and should I upgrade? Awesome question, Linda. On Windows, you can go to your Start menu and type Defragment and Optimize Drivers. When that window opens, it will show you whether you have an HDD or SSD next to the drive name. Upgrading from an HDD to an SSD is one of the best speed boosts you can give your computer. Boost times, loading files, and even web browsing get snappier. If your current drive is slow and your laptop is a few years old, it's definitely worth considering. Is it safe to open up my laptop to replace the battery? I've never done anything like that before. Totally understandable, Jordan. And yes, it can be safe as long as you take it slow and follow a specific guide to your laptop model. Here's what I recommend. First, turn it off and unplug it. Then, search for a video or written guide on your laptop's make and model, plus battery replacement. Use a mini screwdriver and work on a clear surface. Just make sure to take a picture before unplugging anything inside. That makes reassembly way easier. If you're not sure, you can always have a tech-savvy friend supervise or bring it to a shop. But trying it yourself is a great way to build confidence. My kid's Chromebook is acting weird. Some keys stick and others won't work at all. Can I fix this at home? Yep, that's a super common issue, especially with school laptops. Here's what you can try. First, turn off your Chromebook completely. Use compressed air to blow out crumbs or dust stuck under the keys. If the key is sticky, use a damp microfiber cloth or cotton swab with rubbing alcohol to gently clean around the edges. You can also pop off individual keys using a plastic pry tool or your fingernail, clean underneath, and then pop it back on. If a whole row of keys isn't working, it might be a hardware issue, in which case an external USB keyboard is a cheap workaround while you decide whether or not to replace it. How do I change my Wi-Fi password? I'm worried about people using my internet. Great that you're thinking about security, Sean. You can change your Wi-Fi password by logging into your router. On a computer, open your browser and type 192.160.0.1 or 192.168.1.1. It should say it on the back of your router. Log into your the router username and password, often admin and admin, unless you've changed it. Look for a section called wireless settings or Wi-Fi settings. From here, you can change your network password and even rename your network if you want. Just make sure to reconnect all your devices after the new password is used. My laptop screen is cracked. Is this something that I can replace myself, or should I take it in? Great question, Jenny. And the honest answer is it depends on the comfort level and the laptop model. Screen replacements are doable at home for many laptops, especially older or more modular ones. You need a precision screwdriver, plastic pry tools, and a replacement screen specific to your model, which you can usually find online. But if the laptop is thin and glued together or has a glass touchscreen, it might be tricky to do without damaging the other parts. If it's your first repair, I suggest watching a YouTube video for the exact model and seeing if it's doable for you. Otherwise, a local repair shop is a safer bet. One of the USB ports on my desktop isn't working anymore. Can I fix this myself? Good question, Curtis. If it's just one USB port not working, first try this. Plug something into a different port to make sure the device works. Check inside the bad port. Is there dust or damage? Try gently cleaning it with compressed air or soft brush. If it's a desktop PC and the port is part of the front panel, you can usually replace the cable by opening up the case, unplugging it from the motherboard. If it's on the back panel, it's probably part of the motherboard itself, so it's not easy to replace. That said, a super easy fix, get a USB hub or PCI USB expansion card if you're comfortable opening up your desktop. It adds new ports without you needing to repair the damaged ones. My laptop's hinge is getting really loose and wobbly. Can I tighten that myself? Yes, you can, but you'll want to be careful. Most laptop hinges are screwed into either a metal bracket or directly into the plastic case. Over time, the screws can loosen or even strip. First, power off the laptop and flip it over. Check the bottom panel carefully. Check near the hinge. If you see a loose screw, tighten it gently. If the plastic is cracked or the screw won't hold, you may want to use a repair bracket or epoxy for a more permanent fix. If this sounds intimidating, a shop can usually handle it affordably. But if it's just a loose screw, it's a solid beginner fix. All right, let's bring it home. If you've made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back, seriously, because I know this stuff can be intimidating. It can feel like you're going to break something just by touching it. But like I said in the beginning, you don't need to be a tech genius. You don't need to know how to code or build a computer from scratch. This is just like home or car maintenance. You're not rebuilding an engine. You're learning how to pump the tires, tighten a bolt, or replace a battery. Basic, useful, real-world tech skills that save you time, money, and frustration. And every time you try something new, every time you take control of your tech instead of letting it take control of you, you build confidence. And confidence is what turns "I'm not a tech person" into "hey, I fixed it myself." And if you ever feel stuck, we've got your back. If you found this video helpful, we'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment below with your questions or share what worked for you. We might feature it in a future video. And if you're looking for some more support, tools, or beginner-friendly tech tips, check out M.A.P Systems. We're all about making tech simpler and more approachable for everyone. Visit us anytime at 123mapwebsites.com for more videos, guides, and resources to help you stay in control of your digital life. Thanks for watching, and a reminder, you've got this.